Imagine you're alone in the middle of a jungle, relying only on your survival skills. But this time, you're not facing wild animals or nature. You're facing something that is neither human nor animal, and it already knows everything you're going to do. The film opens on a man named Dog Woods, a wildlife photographer and the host of a survival show called Woods vs., much like Man vs. Wild. In the show, he travels to remote forests and wild places to teach people how to survive. 2 seasons have already been made. Some viewers liked it, but it wasn't popular enough for any major network to pick it up. Now they're about to film season 3. If this one doesn't sell, Dog and his team could go broke. So Dog is under a lot of pressure and facing hard times. Dog often cracks jokes during his survival segments, but perhaps that's part of the problem. Viewers don't seem to enjoy his humor, and that might be why no network has picked up the show. With his future hanging by a thread, Dog and his team decide to take a huge risk. They choose one of the toughest places on Earth, the remote forests of northern Canada, hoping this will finally make an impact. The movie shows Dog sneaking out of his house late at night. He doesn't want to wake his wife or young daughter, but they hear him and come to say goodbye. His daughter has recorded a heartfelt video message for him, something he can watch when he feels lonely or scared in the wilderness. It's meant to give him strength during the toughest moments. Shortly afterward, Dog's team arrives in an RV. The crew includes his younger brother Terry, the show's producer Bill, and a woman named Angie. Their destination is a few hours away, and during the drive, Dog chats with them. They clearly look discouraged and worried about the show's future. They try to convince Dog that he needs to take things to the next level. This time, do something bold or unexpected to win over the audience. If not, they risk losing everything and having to walk away from the show forever. Dog is troubled by these thoughts, though he says little. Still, he reassures everyone that he'll do his best to spice things up. He plays a game of chess with Terry during the drive, a game he's always loved and finds comfort in. They finally reach a small town where they're to meet their local guide, someone familiar with the area, since the forest they're heading into is known to be dangerous. In a nearby restaurant, they're introduced to Duncan, a man who lives in the region and will guide them to the drop-off point while they eat. Terry takes Dog aside and suggests he skip the jokes this season, saying they're hurting the ratings. The remark stings and leaves Dog disheartened, as though his own personality isn't enough for the show. After the meal, they depart. The plan is to take Dog deep into the forest by boat. He'll be completely alone there for 5 days, after which the team will return to pick him up in case of emergency. Dog is given a satellite phone so he can call for help if something goes wrong. Before they part, everyone offers Dog advice on what kind of content to create, urging him to do more unusual things to grab attention, things that might finally make the show a hit. They make it clear that if this season fails, they could lose everything. Dog is hurt by their bluntness but hides his feelings. He doesn't want to seem weak before the challenge even begins. As they continue their journey, it suddenly begins to rain. Duncan calmly tells Dog this is just a taste of what he'll face here. The wilderness is unpredictable and unforgiving. They finally reach the forest's edge, where Duncan offers Dog a few final words. Then the group leaves him alone. Now the real challenge is about to begin. Dog sets up his camera, officially kicking off Season 3 of Woods vs. He opens his backpack to check the items he'll rely on for the next 5 days. Inside are a hat, a camera flash, an energy drink, an apple, a harmonica, and a piece of chewing gum. That's it, just these basic items to survive in the wild. His first priority is to find a place to sleep. He walks a short distance to a higher, safer spot and decides to build his shelter there. Only a few hours of daylight remain. He works quickly, gathering wood from a broken tree and collecting small branches to make handling easier. But while he's busy, a splinter lodges deeply under his fingernail, causing sharp pain. Gritting his teeth, he manages to remove it, a harsh reminder that even the smallest thing can be a serious challenge out here. After some effort, he finishes building the shelter just as night is falling. He knows the next step is equally important, making a fire to keep wild animals at bay. He decides to use the energy drink can by scraping its metallic surface to create friction and ignite a flame. After half an hour of struggling, he switches tactics and uses the can's reflective side, aiming sunlight onto a bundle of dry wood. After tense moments, the wood finally catches fire. His first real success in the wild. Night comes quickly. Dog calls into his team on the satellite phone. At the other end, they're chatting casually and laughing. Hearing their laughter while he struggles alone in the wilderness makes Dog feel a bit down, but he reminds himself that this is his job. That night, Dog goes to bed hungry. He hasn't had a chance to hunt and there's nothing to eat. Exhausted from the day and warmed only by the fire, he finally drifts off but is jolted awake by a loud, thunderous explosion. The sound is so powerful, it leaves him stunned, though he can't understand what happened. He thinks it might have been an earthquake and tries to calm himself before falling back asleep. When morning comes, something feels different as Dog rises and looks around. He's surprised to see smoke and flames in parts of the forest. Then something massive falls from the sky into the nearby river, shaking the ground violently. Dog runs to the scene and sees something unsettling. All the fish in the water are dead. Whatever fell seems toxic or dangerous. Dog suspects it might have been a meteorite. Still, from a survival standpoint, the dead fish mean food. Dog is hungry and at first feels relieved. Now he has something to eat. But just as he's about to act, he spots a wolf in the distance. The animal approaches the river, sniffs the air, then turns away without touching a single fish. That moment gives Dog pause. If the wolf mistrusts the fish, maybe Dog shouldn't either. Dog decides to call his team to report what he's seen. But when he reaches for the satellite phone, it's dead. No signal, no connection. That's when he begins to piece things together. Whatever fell from the sky must also have disrupted communications. A meteorite impact. Now, with no working phone and nothing safe to eat, Dog has one option left: hunt. Still hungry from the previous night, he needs food urgently. He sets 3 snares hoping to catch a rabbit or another small animal. While waiting, he continues filming his surroundings, documenting everything, including this strange, unsettling turn of events. By late afternoon, Dog checks his snares, and to his relief, 2 rabbits are caught. As he crouches to collect his catch, one of his cameras suddenly falls over by itself. Immediately, Dog hears an unfamiliar sound echoing through the forest, assuming it might be the wolf again. He grabs the fallen camera and returns to camp, staying alert to avoid attracting predators. Dog decides to clean the rabbits a short distance from his shelter, keeping his camera rolling to document the process for his audience. Once finished, he heads back and again attempts to call his team on the satellite phone. Still dead, he pulls out his personal cell phone, a gift from his daughter, but predictably, there's no signal. Feeling lonely and disheartened, Dog plays the video his daughter recorded for him. Her words comfort him and give him the strength to carry on. But just as he begins to feel better, he hears the same eerie noises coming from the trees, as if someone or something is watching him silently from the shadows. Fearing it might be a pack of wolves, Dog eats his meal hurriedly. He can't carry both rabbits, and decides to hang the remaining one in front of the camera. He shares a survival tip: tie the rabbit upside down by its foot and hang it from a tree branch to keep it out of reach of animals. When night falls, Dog returns to his shelter and passes the time playing chess on his small board. But the strange noises return. Dog scans the darkness with his night vision camera, but he sees nothing. He tries to ignore it and focus on his game. Unbeknownst to him, something, or someone, approaches silently and takes the rabbit he hung. Whatever it is, moves with purpose and intelligence. It doesn't act like an animal. That's when the unease grows stronger. Soon it begins to rain on camera. Dog tries to show that his shelter is holding up, but it's useless. The structure leaks and the ground becomes muddy, making it hard to sleep or stay warm. Then Dog hears a sharp, unsettling animal cry nearby that freezes him in place. He quickly grabs his night vision camera and scans the forest again, but still sees nothing. Terrified, Dog doesn't sleep at all that night. By morning, his whole body aches and the lack of rest is beginning to take its toll. Deep down, he wants to give up, but he keeps in mind how important this show is to him. So despite the pain and fear, he forces himself to carry on. He grabs his camera and goes to check the snares he reset, only to find them emptied again, but not by animals. Instead, he discovers a strange black substance under one of the traps that glows faintly. Dog is stunned. He returns for a closer look and then notices something even more disturbing. His satellite phone is missing. He also sees that someone has moved one of the chess pieces on his board. That's the last straw. Dog now knows for certain he's not alone. Someone is out there watching him play. He wonders if it might be a prank by a fan, or even a stunt by one of his own team members trying to make the show more exciting. That thought brings him some comfort. He turns on his camera and keeps filming. After all, he still needs footage for the show. He contemplates his next chess move and finally makes it. The next morning, he packs up and abandons the area, planning to camp further down the river. He finds a large rock to use as part of his new shelter, lights another fire, and prepares to look for food. He tries fishing, but the water is empty, so he goes deeper into the forest to hunt small game. Suddenly, he freezes. There's another shelter, identical to his own, complete with a fire made using an energy drink can just like he showed in his videos. Someone has been copying everything he does. At first, he thinks it's still a fan prank, but then he notices something even more alarming. His lost satellite phone lies there, disassembled as if someone has been studying it. Dog is truly terrified. Nearby, he finds the bodies of a rabbit and a wolf, tied up exactly as he demonstrated in his survival tips. Then he hears a noise and hides under a rock, scanning the area. He realizes someone built a gigantic trap, an exact replica of his own survival techniques. He backs away just in time before he could be caught in it himself. Dog runs back to his camp, only to discover someone has made another move on his chessboard, one so clever that even Dog couldn't have countered it. With no other choice, he decides to stay there overnight. He sets up 3 cameras around the area, hoping to catch whoever is watching him. But when he wakes the next morning, all 3 cameras have been knocked down. That's when fear hits him hardest. Not only are they watching him, they're hunting him. Whoever or whatever this is hasn't attacked yet, but Dog knows that could change at any moment. Dog begins filming his final scenes for the show when suddenly a massive explosion rocks the area, throwing him into the water. He struggles to swim to shore, bleeding from his eyes, nose, and ears from the force of the blast. Soaked and dazed, he strips off his wet clothes, puts them back on, and starts running desperately to escape. In his panic, he loses his sense of direction and falls into a deep pit. Just before losing consciousness, he sees a shadowy figure watching him from above. When he wakes, injured and weak, he ties off his bleeding hand with his shirt and climbs out of the pit with great effort. Dog finally reaches the makeshift camp where his team had left their gear. The tents and equipment are still there, but the people are gone. Then he sees his brother Terry hanging from a tree, tied up just as Dog once hung his prey. Dog rushes to free him and finds him still alive, though barely conscious. Dog runs inside to use the radio, but it's dead. When he returns with a first aid kit, he finally sees the culprit, a non-human extraterrestrial standing before him. It's been stalking Dog the whole time, imitating his actions and studying him. The remains of Dog's team lie nearby, their bodies mutilated and their skin stripped away. The alien makes that same eerie sound Dog heard in the forest. Realizing he's in mortal danger, Dog lures the creature back toward the pit he fell into. The plan works. The alien falls into the trap, and Dog buries it under a pile of heavy rocks, hoping it's enough to kill it. He hurries back to help Terry, but he's too late. Terry has died, leaving Dog completely alone. Grief-stricken and exhausted, Dog gently covers his fallen teammates' bodies, realizing he may not survive himself. He records a final message to his family in case no one comes to rescue him. Needing strength, he watches his daughter's video again. Her words reignite his determination. He won't give up. After bandaging his wounds, Dog looks around the camp and finds a map. He notes that Duncan's cabin is 6 kilometers away. Without wasting time, he gathers supplies and sets out on foot. When night falls, he finally reaches Duncan's cabin. It's empty, but the TV is still on. That's when the film delivers its shocking twist. The news reveals that what Dog thought was a single extraterrestrial incident was not isolated. Millions of similar aliens have landed across the planet. Major cities lie in ruins, and governments are urging mass evacuations. Dog is now far from civilization, safe for the moment. But the realization hits him hard. His family may not have survived. Still, he refuses to give up. He scavenges supplies from the cabin and prepares to leave using Duncan's boat. He's determined to find and protect his family. But just as he's about to depart, Duncan himself appears, pointing a gun at him and ordering him to leave the boat behind. Dog refuses. He can't afford to lose any more time. Before Duncan can act, the alien reappears and kills him. Then it turns its attention to Dog. But Dog fights back fiercely. In a final act of survival, he kills the alien by smashing it with the boat's propeller. As Dog catches his breath, believing the danger is over, he looks up and freezes. The sky is full of incoming meteors. More aliens are arriving. With no time to think, Dog jumps into the boat and speeds away, searching for a safer place and praying his family survived. All he can hold on to are his daughter's words and the love that drives him onward. He navigates downstream, the sound of the water encouraging him, though his mind is filled with fear and uncertainty.
If you want interesting movie recaps, like, share, and subscribe to follow us for more movie recaps.